Today we're going to talk about credit card data security, EMVs versus magnetic stripe cards, chip and PIN versus chip and signature, and credit and debit cards. So you probably heard very often the terms EMV, chip cards, smart cards, chip and PIN, or chip and signature lately. EMV stands for Europay, MasterCard, and Visa. And for those of you who may not know, microchip technology has been used in European credit debit cards for many years. In fact, the United States is the last country worldwide in adopting this technology as a result of increased credit card fraud during the recent years. In October 2014, the increased incidence of fraud prompted the President of the United States to sign an executive order meant for the government to lead by example in starting the switch-over process to EMV, thus transitioning to a stronger security technologies and the development of next-generation payment security tools. The deadline for switching over was October 2015. Since that date, merchants who are not equipped to support chip technology are liable for any losses that occur due to credit card fraud if the payment type presented during the sale is an EMV card. In a nutshell, here's what you need to know about the new cards. In 2015, these cards were new to the United States, but not elsewhere. The global marketplace is largely using EMV technologies, and consumers are used to being able to buy goods and services with their chip cards. Outside the United States, everyone within the payment processing landscape is already adjusted, including the card issuing banks, the card networks, the processors, the merchants, and the consumers. In the United States, the only participants who need to fully upgrade are the merchants. So if you are not already EMV equipped, it is highly recommended that you do so as soon as possible. It may take a little longer at checkout. When consumers use their card with businesses that have chip-enabled payment technology, they'll insert the chip end of their card into the front of the reader and leave it there until the transaction is finished. Processing may take a little longer than normal, and that's perfectly fine. This is a small price to pay for superior data security. With other payment devices, simply waving the card in front of the terminal or gently tapping the card against the reader may suffice in order to finalize the transaction. It can be tough for thieves to duplicate your card. The embedded microchips are encrypted in such a way that they create a unique one-use code for each transaction, making it nearly impossible for hackers to clone them or to steal authentication numbers from such cards. Chips are much safer than magnetic stripes, which have been the #1 target for fraud as they can be easily counterfeited or copied and reused. Chip cards, including credit, may also have an optional PIN part. While in the United States we've been associating personal identification or PIN numbers with PIN debit cards, credit cards with embedded microchips may also come with a PIN number, depending on the card issuing bank. Cardholders may or may not be issued a PIN with their new EMV credit card. In many parts of Europe, for example, consumers need to enter a personal identification number when they use a chip-enabled debit or credit card. This is why, when planning to travel abroad, cardholders may ask their financial institution if they can add a PIN to their account so they can easily use their cards there. As a merchant, you may allow shoppers to sign for chip card purchases. This would be the chip and signature scenario. However, chip and PIN is yet even more secure and advisable when the choice is in your hand. The magnetic strip is still usable. While there may be locations in the United States where consumers can still swipe their card using its magnetic strip, such scenarios will soon disappear, and business owners are continuously upgrading to the chip-enabled card readers. You still have to guard against fraud. While it may be tougher for thieves to make physical copies of chip cards, the microchips can't stop them from using card numbers fraudulently over the phone, online, or by mail. For that very reason, Europe experienced a significant increase in credit card fraud right after EMV cards were introduced to the market. In order to address such a concern, card issuing banks in the United States are doing everything in their power to outsmart cybercriminals who are always coming up with new ways to hack data. When it comes to payment acceptance habits, due diligence is never outdated. Stay in touch with your payment processing provider and make sure that you have access to the latest information available. If you have employees, ensure that everyone on board is fully trained pertaining to safe payment acceptance protocols. Contact your provider immediately if you suspect credit card fraud. I hope that I provided you with a helpful introduction to the concepts of EMV, chip and PIN, chip and signature, and what debit versus credit card pins are. Now you know what to expect with these latest payment cards and methods, and it should be easy for you to determine whether you have an optimal setup or if you need professional assistance. Our goal-oriented, professional, and straightforward approach. We help experienced and the non-experienced, the tech-savvy to the non-tech-savvy entrepreneurs from virtually every type of industry to stay true to their vision of success for their companies, while minimalizing credit card-related fraud at the same time. If you are looking to open a new business or would like to switch from your present processor, please do reach out to us at 1-844-384-1484 or visit our website at www.transnetenterprises.com.